Now, if you found our channel or you've clicked on this video, you probably have a little bit of interest of hiring in Mexico or Latin America. Now, today I've chosen the great city of Monterrey, Mexico, to talk a little bit about Monterrey, what it has to offer, and why a lot of international companies are actually choosing to hire in the area. Now, if you see in my backdrop here, you have some of the greater area of Monterrey. And just to give you some background about the city, there's about 5 million people here in the greater metropolitan area. I'm actually in the affluent neighborhood of San Pedro with this beautiful backdrop, the sunrise coming over these gorgeous mountains. It's a very modern city, and there's a lot of international business that's already going on here. Now, I've chosen my hoodie here. As you see, I have my Mexico logo, but Monterrey is actually going to be hosting, it's going to be a host city for the FIFA Cup in 2026. So there's a lot of economy going on, a lot of infrastructure being built. There's a lot of opportunities for businesses to actually invest in the city right now. Now, just to give you some proximity of where we are, just to give you an idea, we're about 3 hours to the US border. If you take a quick drive, you can get to Laredo, Texas in about 3 hours. So we're very close to the Texas border. What that means is there's a lot of English-speaking talent that exists here because there's a lot of international trade that happens here. So the international trade routes go right through Monterrey, and there's a lot of international businesses already doing business here. In addition to that, you'll see, and some of the things we'll talk about in this video are the access to universities. So there's a lot of universities here. Some of the better known or the well-known universities are actually located here in Monterrey. So it produces a lot of English-speaking talent. On top of that, you have big accounting firms here. You have large manufacturing companies here that are doing business and actually have plants here, specifically in automotive, aerospace, appliances. So there's a lot of opportunities for manufacturing companies that are already involved here in the area. On top of that, you do have technology companies that have also invested in the area. So if you've continued to watch this video, we are going to cover some of these topics in terms of some of the universities that are here, some of the international companies that already exist. And if you're a company that's looking to do business here or has interest in investing or opening an office in Mexico or Monterrey, you're going to want to continue to watch our video.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about in this video is the pool of talent that exists in Monterrey. Now, behind me, I don't know if you can actually zoom in and see, but is the PricewaterhouseCoopers building, which is a major corporate office here in Monterrey. But if you can see behind me now, you can actually see a satellite office or a satellite campus for El Tec de Monterrey. Now, if you don't know a lot about it, El Tec de Monterrey is a very highly regarded university in Mexico and Latin America, and quite frankly, the world. It has a number of alliances with Harvard and MIT and Oxford. So it has alliances throughout the world. And it's a very high quality university here in Mexico that produces a lot of tech students, but also produces a lot of engineering students and students from a wide range of backgrounds. Now, why do I mention that? Was because this is just one example of what Monterrey has to offer from a talent front. Most of these students are going to be English speaking, come from a very prestigious school, and it's just one example of a university that's a very high quality and is throughout the city of Monterrey. So one of the things Monterrey is typically known for is it's known for being a very industrial city. There's a lot of companies that have moved here and have operations here. For example, I have here in my background, I have the corporate offices of Grainger. Obviously, Grainger is a very well-known brand around the world. There's also places or corporations that have offices here like Carrier, Whirlpool, GE. So there's a lot of well-established companies here in Monterrey and throughout Mexico. Here I'm actually in an industrial park, a well-known industrial park here in Monterrey called Finza, which houses a lot of these corporations and corporate offices. So if you're looking to do business here in Mexico, in Monterrey specifically, there's a lot of well-known companies here already that pull from a lot of the talent that Monterrey has to offer.
So if you made it to this stage in the video, you have a pretty good idea why Monterrey, Mexico is such an attractive place to recruit bilingual talent. Now, just as a quick recap, some of the things that we've talked about are some of the international companies that exist here. We've taken you on site to one of the locations for Granger, so you have a good idea of some of the international presence that's here. I've taken you to one of the satellite campuses of El Tec de Monterrey, which is one of the most prestigious universities in all of Latin America. So you have a pretty good idea of some of the bilingual talent that already exists here. And then finally, you have a good idea of the proximity to the United States. So you see some of the companies that exist here, why there's so many trade routes, and then why you have so much bilingual talent that exists. Now, the one thing that a lot of people don't discuss, and it's really important if you're a new company and you want to hire in Monterrey, is that Monterrey is actually one of the more expensive cities in all of Latin America, specifically in Mexico. So what you have is when an international company wants to hire in Mexico and specifically Monterrey, you have to be very familiar with the salaries that exist here. The salaries will be a little higher than they are in the rest of the country because of the cost of living. It's a very modernized city with a lot of international companies that are paying very good rates. So it's something very important to know as a company that wants to do business in Monterrey. Now, I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching the duration of the video. If you like our content, please subscribe. We look forward to seeing you in future videos.